Mike. Turn it on.
So I'm new to this here. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the January 3rd, 2023 organization meeting of the Millburn Township Committee, which is called to order. In accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws, 1975, be advised that notice of this meeting was made by posting on the bulletin board in Town Hall and forwarding to the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at Town Hall at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. Meeting details and the draft agenda were posted on the Township website. I kindly ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask you all to please remain standing for the invocation, which will be presented by Cantor Lorna Wallach of Congregation B'nai Israel of Millburn. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me to deliver this invocation at this evening's Millburn Township Committee's reorganization meeting. I have served as the clergy member at Congregation B'nai Israel here in Millburn Township since 1998, but I'm here this evening representing all of the clergy of our township. I'm also a resident of Millburn. I've lived in South Mountain neighborhood for 24 years, so I'm most honored to be here. At this important occasion for our community, we call upon God by whatever name or sign that you may acknowledge sacredness in our world, to offer blessings and to convey our appreciation and support to all those who serve in leadership positions in our town and in our county. And specifically this evening to the newly elected officials of our township committee, to Annette Romano and to Michael Cohen. We are at a time in our Gregorian calendar of a new year, new beginnings, which hold the promise of hope and optimism. In the Jewish calendar this week, we are finishing the reading of the first book of the Torah, Judaism's holy scriptures, which are the 5 books of Moses. There is a Hebrew phrase that we recite only 5 times in the entire year when we finish reading each of the 5 books of Moses. In Hebrew, the phrase is Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek, which in English translates to be strong, and we will be strengthened. Scholars have questioned why the word Chazak, strength, is repeated in this phrase. One interpretation is that it is a reminder that each of us needs to be strong. If you are strong, and if I am strong, then together we are even stronger. We need each other to be strong so that our community can be even stronger. Strength as a positive characteristic can be demonstrated in many valuable ways. It is my prayer that you, our local officials, will possess the strength to recognize the true nature of your work on our township committee and to approach your work with wisdom and courage, compassion and humility, integrity and curiosity. As you work together, may each of you have the strength to be firm in your convictions, yet modest in your opinions. It is an indication of strength of character to treat each other with the respect befitting a fellow elected representative and with the dignity befitting another human created in the image of God. May you recognize compromise as a sign of strength, not weakness. When conflicts and difficult decisions arise, may you have the strength and courage to make enlightened choices and do what you believe to be what is best and fair for the citizens of our community and for the betterment of Millburn Township. May you listen and learn from one another and honor and respect the sacredness of everyone you serve. Public service requires a great deal of personal sacrifice and sacrifice on the part of your families. All of us are also grateful to your families who have stood by your side to reach this point. And as you are soon to be sworn in, tonight we wish you, Annette, and you, Michael, that you may continue to derive strength from each of your spouses, from Nick and from Merrill, and from your children, Christine, Jessica, and Nick, and Ben and Rachel and Matthew. Just as each of us hopes to see in our leaders continued dedication to service, may our leaders also see in each one of us a willingness to give them support and respect. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Be strong, and we will be strengthened. And most of all, may you be blessed with peace as you create peace for Milburn Township and all who dwell within it. Amen.
Amen. That was wonderful. Thank you, Cantor. At the 2022 general election, Annette Romano and Michael H. Cohen were both elected to the Township Committee for a 3-year term, both expiring on December 31st, 2025. I kindly ask Annette Romano to please stand so Essex County Clerk Christopher Durkin may administer her oath of office for appointment to the Township Committee.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to wish each and every one of you a happy and healthy new year. It is my honor to preside over the swearing in of Annette Romano. Annette is surrounded by the love of her family and friends, surrounded by the love of her community. She has dedicated her life to this community. She's been raised by this community. And this is just another stage in her service. It's not a culmination. It is a new beginning, as the cantor just said. And she will serve with dignity and with honor to her oath. So let us begin. I state your name.
I, Annette Romano,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New
of the
Jersey,
State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and
and
allegiance
allegiance
to the same
and
and to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly affirm
I do further solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and
perform
justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
the office of
the office of
Township Committee Member
Township Committee Member
of Milburn
of
Township,
Milburn Township,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I kindly ask Michael H. Cohen to please stand so Essex County Clerk Christopher Durkin may administer his oath of office for appointment to the Township Committee.
First of all, I want to thank Michael Cohen for giving me this great honor to swear him in. All over our nation, the last few days, there's been swearing-ins, peaceful transitions of power. And we're doing that here, and we've been doing that throughout Essex County in New Jersey. Michael is a wonderful husband, wonderful father, community leader, and I know how serious he takes this oath, and he will be a great leader for the Township of Milburn. So let us begin. Okay, I state your name.
I, Michael H. Cohen,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United
and
States
in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly affirm
I do further solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
the office of
the office of
Township Committee Member of Milburn Township,
Township Committee Member of Milburn Township,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Durkin. Welcome. I will now call for a roll call vote to note those present. Mr. Cohen?
Here.
Ms. Miggins?
Here.
Ms. Prupus?
Here.
Ms. Romano?
Here.
Mr. Vinayak?
Here.
The record will show that all members of the Milburn Township Committee are present for this meeting. Is there a nomination for mayor for 2023?
I'd like to nominate Maggie Miggins for Mayor Committee Chair for 2023.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Will the nominee accept that nomination?
I shall.
Are there any other nominations for mayor? Seeing there are none, I will call for a roll call vote to elect Maggie Miggins as mayor for 2023. Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Ms. Miggins?
Yes.
Ms. Prupus?
No.
Ms. Romano?
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak?
Yes.
Congratulations, Mayor Miggins.
Thank you.
I will happily turn this meeting over to you.
This out.
She told me to grab it.
Thank you very much, committee. I will now call for the nominations for Deputy Mayor, Vice Chair for 2023. Do we have a nominee, please?
I nominate Sanjeev Vinayak.
Awesome.
And I second that.
Excellent. Mr. Vinayak, will you accept that nomination?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations for Deputy Mayor? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Ms. Prupus?
Yes.
Ms. Romano?
Yes.
Mr. Vinayak?
Yes.
Mayor Miggins?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to just recognize some of the people who came out today to cheer on Annette and Michael, our representatives in our government that work very hard for all of us in the Township of Milburn. So if I miss somebody, please do make it a point to let me know. Sitting in the audience today, we have former committee member Richard Wasserman. We have former Mayor Jackie Benjamin Lieberberg. We have sitting with us also, which is always lovely when they come and visit us, is Livingston Mayor Sean Klein. We have Assemblyman John McKeon, who's representing us in the State House, and Assemblyman Giblin and Governor Cody, which is, thank you very much. County Clerk Chris Durkin, who you saw administer the oath. Commissioner Len Luciano, who represents us. Commissioner Pat Siebold, who also represents us in the county. Our wonderful, fabulous State Chairman Leroy Jones. And if I've missed it, there is one person who, and all of the people that that helped to make this election successful, for all of you that are in the audience today, thank you so much. And there's also one person who always is in the background, but boy, works really darn hard to get us elected, and that's Tom Barrett. So I'd like to recognize him as well. Thank you very much. Also, I'd like to read this from Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, dear committee member Romano, and Michael, you have one as well. I want to extend my sincere congratulations as you were sworn in as a committee member for the Township of Millburn. I am proud that New Jersey's 11th Congressional District is home to dedicated public servants who work tirelessly in supporting our communities and ensure they continue to thrive. Public service is a truly noble calling, and I appreciate that the people of Millburn can look to you for leadership on their behalf. Congratulations again, and I look forward to working with you and your office during your upcoming term. Together, we can accomplish great things in service of our constituents across NJ11. Please don't hesitate to reach out if I can be of any assistance. Happy New Year, and I wish you the very best as you take office. Sincerely, Mikey Sherrill. And Mr. Cohen. And here we go. So we're going to start with mayoral appointments. The following appointments to the 2023 Art Advisory Committee: Victoria Plummer, Donna Davis, Lorraine Barak, Oscar Peterson, Annette Romano is a liaison, Amy McGovern, Andrew Permison, Judith Kramer, Michelle Sanfilippo, Molly Iser, Kathy Hecht, Maren Less, Pamela Polifron, Gail Turner, and Nikhil Bansal. The following appointments to the Environmental Commission: Elizabeth Bolabon, reappointed to a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2025. Deborah Nevis, reappointed to a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2025. Roger Timpson, appointed to a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2025. And Kristen Brazil, appointed as alternate number 1 to an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2023. Abigail Packman, reappointed as alternate number 2 to a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2024. And also the appointment of Roger Timpson as chairperson of the Environmental Commission for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023. The following appointments are being made to the Historic Preservation Commission: Elizabeth Wanga, Class A, reappointed to a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2026. Mary Esquivel, Class C, reappointed to a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2026. Jessica Galat, Zoning Board of Adjustment member, reappointed concurrent with her Zoning Board of Adjustment term ending December 31st, 2026. And David Barton, Class C, appointed as alternate number 2 to a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2024. The following appointment is made to the Board of Recreation. Chris Drucker is reappointed to a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2027. The following appointments are being made to the Planning Board. Beth Saul, Class 4, reappointed to a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2026. Allison Canfield, Historic Preservation Commission member, appointed as a Class 2 member for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023. Corey Biller, Class 4, appointed to an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2024. Deborah Nevis, Environmental Commission member, reappointed to a 3-year term concurrent with her Environmental Commission term ending December 31st, 2025. And David Cosgrove, Class 4, appointed to an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2023 as alternate number 1. I'd like to announce the appointment of Michael Cohen and Ellen Cerruto as trustees of the Cora Horton Arboretum and Bird Sanctuary for 1-year terms ending December 31st, 2023. I'd like to announce the appointment of myself, Maggie Miggins, as a Class 1 member designee to the Planning Board for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023. I'd like to announce the appointment of Michael Cohen as the member of the Board of Trustees of the Millburn Free Public Library for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023. I'd like to also announce the designation of the following Township Committee members as liaisons to boards and commissions for 2023 as follows: Board of Recreation, Maggie Miggins; Community Service Award, Annette Romano; Finance, Michael Cohen and Sanjeev Vinayak. Pursuant to statute, with the consent of the Township Committee, as mayor, I will be the Group 1 member of the Emergency Management Council for a term corresponding with my official tenure as mayor. Announcing the following appointment with consent of the Township Committee to the Millburn Free Public Library: Dorothy Kelly will be reappointed to a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2027. Also with the consent of the Township Committee of Annette Romano as liaison to the Senior Citizen Advisory Board for a one-year term ending on December 31st, 2022. Praveen Kandula will be a member of the Shade Tree Advisory Board for a three-year term ending on December 31st, 2025, with consent of the Township Committee. Also with consent of the Township Committee is Lisa Bolt as a member of the Shade Tree Advisory Board for a three-year term ending on December 31st, 2025. The following appointments with consent of the Township Committee to the Senior Citizen Advisory Board: Marianne Moore, Ellen Prache, Gail Turner, Lisa Chinovsky-Singer, Ellen Steinberg, Anthony Wolk, Robert Borsanger, Madhusuda Kandaputam, Ellen Saruto, Suzanne Zimmer, Carol Collins, Simon Wong, Trina Frankel, and Jamie Hawkins as the Town Hall designee.
I move that the Township Committee give approval and consent to the mayor's appointments.
Second.
Voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move that Sanjeev Vinayak be appointed as a member of the Board of Education, Township Committee, Board of Recreation, Commission Fields Committee for a one-year term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following people be appointed as members of the 2023 Community Service Award Committee: Laura Janae Elaine Becker, Jennifer Mann Rosenblatt, Sharu Goel, Jane Shan, Jackie Benjamin Lieberberg, Ben Zhang, Ying Gu.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following appointment be made for the Board of Health: Beth Nallett, MD, as a regular member for a three-year term ending December 31st, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move that the following appointment be made for the Board of Health: Regina Truitt as alternate one for a two-year term ending December 31st, 2024.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following appointment be made for the Board of Health: Trina Frankel, MD, as alternate number 2 to the unexpired term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following members be appointed as the 2023 Board of Education Liaison: Annette Romano.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Joseph Angelo be appointed as Municipal Court Judge to a three-year term which expires December 31st, 2025.
I second this appointment.
All in favor?
Aye. I move that Richard Copeland be reappointed as Municipal Prosecutor for the year 2023.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that Robert Bohar be reappointed as Municipal Public Defender for the year 2023.
I second this appointment.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Jessica Glatt be reappointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a four-year term ending December 31st, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move that Chandru Harjani be appointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment to an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Gary Rosen be appointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment to an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Ashley Avigdor be appointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a four-year term ending December 31st, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Regina Truitt be appointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustment as alternate number 1 for a two-year term ending December 31st, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move that Michael Cohen be appointed as a Class 3 member of Planning Board for one-year term ending on December 31st, 2023.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I move that the following members be appointed to the Dispatch Joint Meeting 2023. Nat Romano, Township Committee Liaison, Alex McDonald, Township Administrator, and Brian Gilfelder, Police Chief.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following people be appointed as members of the 2023 Parking Ad Hoc Committee: Annette Romano, Sanjeev Vinayak, Alex McDonald, Township Administrator, Donna Ruggiero, Tax Collector, Sergeant Peter Smeraldo, Police Department, Parking Enforcement Officer.
Do you want a second there?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following people be appointed as members of the Pedestrian Safety Advisory Board. Jeremy Sokop, resident, reappointed to a three-year term ending on December 31st, 2025. Sanjeev Vinayak, Township Committee member, Oh, that's what you were saying. Christine Burns, Superintendent of School or designee. Mara Epstein, Parent Teacher Organization Council Safety Committee designee. Christine Bugle, Assistant Engineer or designee. Brian Gilfetter, Police Chief or designee. And Alex McDonald, Township Administrator or designee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Matt Larissy be reappointed Treasurer for a term of 1 year ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move that Alex McDonald be appointed as Melbourne Public Agency Compliance Officer for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. I move that the following members of the clergy be appointed and designated as chaplains to the police department for the year 2023. Reverend Kristen Byrne, St. Rose of Lima Church, Rabbi Matthew Gerwitz, Congressional B'nai Jeshurun, Rabbi Ari Eisenberg of Congressional B'nai Israel, Reverend Christopher Diebold of Covenant Presbyterian Church.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I move that the following members of the clergy be reappointed as chaplains of the fire department for the year 2023. Reverend M. Christian Bernie, St. Rose of Lima Church.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Robert Hingle be appointed as representative to the Essex County Transportation Advisory Board and the Lackawanna Coalition for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye. I move that the following members be appointed to the Melbourne Short Hills Business Organization, Inc., District Management Corporation Board of Trustees. Lex Clark, Operator Trustee, appointed to a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2025. Yale Clatt, Owner Trustee, appointed to a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2025. Annette Romano, Township Committee Member, reappointed to a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023. Richard Wasserman, Mayor's Designee, appointed to a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023, as a non-voting ex officio member. Alex McDonald, Business Administrator, as his designee, reappointed to a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2023, as a non-voting ex officio member.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I move that Annette Romano be appointed as a representative to the joint meeting of Essex and Union County.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment. We are at public comment. Yeah, we could do. Would you wish to? 5-minute break, please. back.
Go.
Everybody ready? Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you, Cantor.
Happy New Year.
All right, and we're off. We're going to public comment now. When invited to speak, please come to the lectern, clearly state your name and address, and speak loudly so that your comments may be understood by all and properly recorded. Whenever an audience or committee member reads verbatim from a prepared statement, please email a copy to the Township Clerk's office at townclerk@milburntwp.org. To help facilitate an orderly meeting and to permit all to be heard, speakers are asked to limit their comments to one 3-minute session. You will be prompted when there's 30 seconds remaining. Each individual will be given one opportunity to make their public comment. Please be patient, and we will address each member of the public that wishes to speak. This is a business meeting, and please do not address professionals or staff directly, and please do direct all comments to me. A reminder that we are all neighbors and personal attacks will not be tolerated. I will now open the public comment period.
Good evening, my name is Jeffrey Feld.
Good
I live
evening.
in Alexander Lane, Short Hills, New Jersey. Welcome to the two sworn-in people. The invocation was excellent, and I found it ironical that we're ending the first book of Genesis, which is all about deceit, now moving towards the rule of law. And I don't know how many people have looked at the Bible. Now, you took your oath in, because there's an inscription, they quote Proverbs 14:34, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a disgrace to any people. I picked that up one of those years. We're starting this year. There's no public comments for people that have to participate virtually. You changed the policy without really notice to the public. And I think you should really reconsider whether people who are watching or participating virtually will have the opportunity to participate. That goes back to the free speech and public policy of robust, informed civic participation. Regarding tonight's agenda, regarding Resolution 23007, I understand that there's always a gap that the treasurer has to pay bills, but I think the public and the council needs to see the bills that he pays through the year so we are able to monitor our expenses. And I've been raising that same issue for years. Regarding term retentions, this is my annual comments about the retention of the municipal attorney, and also our special plan for affordable housing, where RFQs issued. I don't want to stand up here, but there's a whole series of issues regarding our municipal attorneys for law firm over the years. Remember, they were involved in June 2021. We had a public forum. They said the public would be involved. They'll have notice to be involved with the redevelopment of the dump. 30 days later, the settlement happens and the public was not involved. There's a whole series of issues. I don't know if the RFQs, who made that determination. There's also, I think, a typo in the availability of funds. Even though the retention for $220,000, I think it's $440,000 in certification of funds. But there's issues that we really have to look at. As the special affordable housing plan, that's a different issue, we all know. As of 23038, that regarding the local assistant board, this is the first time there's been a resolution, to my knowledge, on here. You're increasing the number of members from 3 to 5. This goes back to the last meeting when I asked questions. When you're playing with the membership of boards, don't really have to do that by ordinance. But also, I invite you to look at the original statute that this arises in and look at the administrative code. Because also when you start looking at the audits, there's something called a special fund that's trust funds, and it's been reduced each year, and I don't know who monitors it. There's still, that's really that, as to that. The local assistance board says under 1947 law, there's a prohibition that says that if certain people cannot sit on the board if they're tied to political committees.
Mr. Feld, your 3 minutes is up, sir.
I just asked for just 1 second, as to why you talk about the SID, why the SID ordinance has not been codified in our administrative code. When will the solid waste ordinance that's affecting the commercial owners, when was that amended? I don't believe so. But as to our 2 new members, I highly recommend that you get this book. It's a redevelopment handbook. This is one of the problems we've been having.
Thank you, Mr. Feld.
Is
Thank
putting
you,
a square
Mr. Feld.
peg in a round
Thank you,
hole.
Mr. Feld.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jay Morelli, number 1 Claremont Drive. I'd like to start by wishing everyone a very happy new year and congratulating Annette and Michael on their election victory. I wanted to follow up on a couple of questions I was asked at the last town council meeting regarding the recently passed concealed carry law in New Jersey. I think Diane asked, are government buildings deemed sensitive places where concealed carry will be banned? And the answer is yes. In fact, the list of sensitive places, according to the bill, includes schools, courthouses, child care centers, nursing homes, polling places, government buildings, hospitals, bars and restaurants where alcohol is served, airports, parks, beaches, demonstrations, movie theaters, casinos, and other entertainment centers. I think it's important that the township consider organizing an information session for town residents, along with the police department, to explain to the public, for both gun owners and non-gun owners, where people will be allowed to carry concealed guns. And I spoke to Assemblyman McKeon and Assemblywoman Jacey, who are both sponsors of the bill. They both offered to participate in any information session on that topic. Finally, I'd like to, I have a couple of questions regarding the zoning code examination committee. The agenda says this is being reconstituted. If Alex, maybe you could give a brief history of this committee and an overview of how this committee will operate, I would find that helpful. I don't recall this committee in the past. Questions, for example, will it be holding meetings which are open to the public? Will it solicit input from the public? Will the public be able to share their views on zoning and proposed zoning changes? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Morelli.
Hi,
Good evening.
Ben Stoller, 422 Wyoming. Congratulations, and then Michael, and Happy New Year to everybody. Couple things, sorted issues. Alex, the SDL, worked fantastic on the issue for the traffic I had. Saw the police officer. Thank you to the police officers. You guys do a great job. They pulled over like 3 people no matter the 8 minutes I was watching, so fantastic. Further, I'd like just an explanation. I showed up a week before the holidays for the HPC, the Historical Preservation Society, but it was canceled. I just want to understand why it was canceled, when it was moved to, and any other details surrounding that. And then third, the affordable housing program plans, et cetera, still want to make a big push to having a citizens action group, participants from the community that can voice input and be part of the decision making. And I think as we sit here as a board going into the new year, that will help everyone to make sure everyone's getting their voices heard. I did put it on the SDL. Alex, the request to be on to offer myself up as a committee member, et cetera, if there is time. So thank you and Happy New Year.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you so much. Anyone else for public comment? Okay, we'll now close public comment. This time, our professionals and committee members may directly answer any questions made by the public. So, and if anybody has any other questions that arise that they come up with, please don't hesitate to send us an email. We all have email, and we'd be more than happy to respond back to you. Mr. McDonald, I shall start with you. Are there any comments you wish to address?
Just 2, Mayor. One is that there is not a typo on the resolution to appoint Mayor Z. Falcon. It's a $240,000 retainer and a $450,000 not to exceed. it is correct.
Okay,
And the certification of funds is for that amount as well.
great.
And to answer Mr. Moriali's question about the zoning code examination subcommittee, this was a subcommittee that we constituted last year. It's essentially an internal working group that helps us work through those zoning issues that do come up. If they come up in a township committee or suggested to township committee members, but it's a working group. Some of the ordinances that have come from this are the electric vehicle charging stations in accordance with the state law that was passed. So it's something that just allows us to work through zoning things and then bring it to the township committee as a recommendation and to the public for that. So that's essentially what that is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Marizzi, do you have anything you'd like
Very
to?
quickly,
Thank
just a minor point, I think, but I just want to clarify. There was a comment made that with respect to the local assistance board, no one involved in politics may be involved on the board. It's not exactly the way the statute reads. The statute says no employee of any welfare department of a municipality whose compensation is paid from funds received or appropriated for public assistance or the administration thereof in any manner shall hold any office in a political party, not being involved in politics. It's a different thing. That's all I have.
That's all you got. Thank you very much. Okay. Mr. Benaya, do you have anything you'd like to respond to?
No, I'm good, Mayor. Thank you.
Ms. Romano? Mr. Cohen?
No, thank you.
Ms. Prupus?
I would just like to state about moving away from any virtual option. I wasn't at the last meeting because I wasn't at the last meeting in December because I was really sick. So I just have a few questions about people are wearing masks still in here, and I just have a few questions. Does that mean that no township committee, like, people can Zoom in, no professionals can Zoom in? And then I heard, Maggie, that you announced this, but how did that come about? Like, was there kind of other conversations? Did you take a straw poll? Like, or did you just make that decision that we were going to move away and not have the virtual option?
All the boards are coming back into township, into the committee rooms. All the boards are.
Right.
Regardless.
So I saw that today on the
Sure.
communication, which I think also was really poor timing to put it out the morning of that it was going to happen. That it should have been done if you knew this was going to happen. It should have been done a couple weeks ago. But who made that decision? Because I know I wasn't asked what I thought about it. And does
Alex,
that
do
mean?
you want to speak to
So
this?
does that mean that if I'm sick, I mean, you would not have wanted me here at that last meeting? There's probably some people in here who, are still sick, but it doesn't. I mean, people are sick. So what does that mean in terms of if I'm?
Well, and again, I don't want to, but I think that this was a condition that existed prior to 2020, as well as we're still offering it via YouTube. As far as committee members or members of professionals, if there's a need to participate in a virtual capacity, we will look to how we could accommodate them. And certainly before Zoom, members of the township committee were able to call in on the phone and be able to participate in the meeting like that as well.
Oh, so people can call in now? Like, so if people at Zoom.
No.
they can
I
call
said
in
you
with
asked
public-
about the professionals
Okay, yeah.
and the members of the township committee. That's what I'm answering.
Okay, so I can call in
Yes,
if I can't make it,
correct.
but people can't participate in the meeting unless I have a huge problem with that. So obviously the decision was made, but I just want to let people know that I have a huge problem with that. And I think we're really limiting participation from our community. So, and I'm not really, whatever.
Do you have anything else, Ms. Prupus?
No.
Thank you very much. Okay. We will now consider consent agenda resolutions. Are there any comments or questions from a member of the committee in regards to a consent agenda resolution?
I do. Am I the only one? Okay. So the flood mitigation, so we're not, two people's went off of the flood mitigation committee, but nobody got added to the flood mitigation.
Can you tell me what you're referencing?
Sure, the reconstitution 23-035, reconstitute and appoint members to the flood mitigation advisory committee. So 2 members of the flood mitigation stepped off, they didn't want to be a part of it. We didn't reappoint anybody, and there's still no downtown representation of any property owners, regardless who they are. There's nobody from the downtown on that committee, and I think it's an issue. And I'm also not really sure why people definitely raised their hand and wanted to serve on it, and I don't know why nobody was not reappointed to. So I would like to pull that out because I don't want to vote for that.
Sure. Can we pull that out, please, and we'll vote on that separately? Okay,
And
thank you.
then the other, the special planner for affordable housing. So I know that,
Can you reference the number?
yeah, sure, 23-020. So that service agreement, can you just explain that service agreement, how we're utilizing it? Is Beth just billing us hours, and is there any, just as needed?
Correct. Only when she is utilized.
Okay,
It's not a like a flat fee or a retainer fee or anything like that.
and it's not for any amount of time, it's just when she's needed?
Correct.
Okay,
Did you want that one left in?
yeah, that one's fine.
Okay.
And then, yeah, no, that's it. So I just want to pull out 2303.
035. Okay.
Yeah, and I think there's a huge issue there, and I think that committee is incomplete and it should be completed.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve resolutions 23-001 through 21-038, pulling out 23-035? May I have a second?
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Ms. Prupus?
yes.
Ms. Romano?
Yes.
Mr. Benias?
Yes.
Mayor Miggins?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve resolution 23-035?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Ms. Prupus?
No.
Ms. Romano?
Yes.
Mr. Benias?
Yes.
Mayor Miggins?
Yes. Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night, Milburn Church House.